There are many references in Paul McCartney's Let 'Em In, some more conscious than others, and Paul often said that things subconsciously inspired him, only later did he realize where certain ideas actually came from. Paul said he thinks his and Wings' song Let 'Em In is a stocking filler. That's how he thinks of some of his songs. It's a fun little item, but it's not like your main Christmas present, he wrote. Let 'Em In is a song by Paul McCartney and Wings from their 1976 album Wings at the Speed of Sound. It was written and sung by Paul and reached number 3 in the UK and in the United States. There are tons of references in Paul's Let 'Em In. While writing it, he imagined a party in Liverpool, like the ones from his childhood, where his friends and family would stand around a piano and sing songs, and everyone was knocking on the door. Sister Susie is Paul's first wife, Linda. She's called that because when they were in Jamaica, all the guys there called a blonde white woman Susie. Later, Linda got a group and called herself Susie and the Red Stripes after the beer brand. Brother John is either Linda's brother, John Eastman, or John Lennon. Phil and Don are the Everly brothers, and Brother Michael is either Paul's brother or it might have been Michael Jackson. Paul and Wings invited the Jackson 5 to the Venus and Mars album party on the Queen Mary the year before. Auntie Gin is Paul's aunt who liked to sing by the piano. Her name is spelt with a J instead of a G because her name was Jane. However, she went by Ginny. Then Uncle Ernie is Paul's cousin, whose name was actually Ian, but they called him Ern. And by this point, I'm not really fussed, Paul said. Martin Luther is Martin Luther King Jr. Paul said it's been suggested that Martin Luther is in the song because he's associated with banging on a door, nailing the articles of faith to a door. However, that's not something Paul was aware of when he wrote the song, but out in the collective unconsciousness maybe it's possible, he wrote. He said it definitely does happen that songs come from some mysterious place. If you're lucky, the words and the music come together nicely. You're blocking stuff out with various sounds, and eventually you hear a little phrase that's starting to work, Paul wrote. Then you follow that trail. As artists, we seem to instinctively know that if we're open to it, and if we play around enough with it, this bunch of words or notes, something will come of it. Something will come in, and you don't even have to let it in. So the people in Paul's Let 'Em In are real, and therefore the song's lyrics are more complex. Concerning Martin Luther knocking on the door, that likely happened because of Paul's subconscious. Paul has often said that his subconscious thoughts and memories and feelings came out in his songs. None of his inspirations were forced. The strange thing about Paul's Let 'Em In is that years later, Paul married Nancy Shelville, whose sister is named Susie and whose brother is named John. So suddenly I'm singing about Nancy's family, Sister Susie and Brother John. It's quite a coincidence, Paul wrote. Or is it? That's all for this one. Be well. Do good things.